We're going 2 by 2, stacking them up through turn 3. 90 laps of action for you here. Top level, the USF Pro Championships. These guys are chasing a scholarship worth almost $600,000 to win and go to Indy Next Racing in 2027. Field set. Out of 4, a Scorpione in the throttle. Green, green, green. 3 wide, a little bit further back, but a good jump for both turn 3 drivers. A Scorpione will rocket down the back straightaway. Yeah, 3 wide behind him for sure. Jeffers on the bottom. He's trying to get some movement. Top side's a lot better in the opening couple of laps there. Big run to the outside. Jeffers is going to push up the track. He'll lose a couple of spots. Douglas to the bottom there. Got to get yourself back to the top of the racetrack. You get pinched down starting on the outside of the row. Much more advantageous to get the run around the top side the first time through 3 and 4. You can see everybody kind of settling back in here now. There's Jeffers and Douglas running in, I want to say, probably 10th and 11th. That's deeper in the field. Field up front, clearing up nicely. Argyros going to work on Christian Cameron there as well. There's the 44 of Golan going at it with the 26 of Schrag. Brady Golan to the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, he's going to clear him. Oh, driver in the wall already. That's a 77 of Frankie Mossman. Mossman in the wall in turn number 4. So we went 43 laps of green in the USF 2000. Race 3 is all we can get here in USF Pro, as somehow Frankie Mossman ends up in the wall on the outside of turn, or they're always on the outside of the oval, Rob. On the outside of turn number 3 and 4. Tough one. Not exactly sure what happened. I didn't pick it up there. Good to see Frankie Mossman climb from his car there. Frankie, again, the point leader coming in, tied with Jack Jeffers with 87 markers. They've got a pretty good gap of almost 30 points over Leonardo Scorpione, who's going to claw a ton back here if he's able to come away with the win. So yellow flag displayed here at start finish for Likens, Aaron Likens. We circulate under yellow. AMR IndyCar safety team on the scene, checking out the damage to that car. Tough start for Mossman, no doubt about that. Frankie did not qualify particularly well, started 13th, not normally where we'd see Frankie. And we saw some chaotic running there, no doubt about it, a little bit further back in the pack. And contact with the wall like that, you can see likely started quite a ways up the road there. You wonder whether or not, and just I don't think we have a replay. So coming into that corner, very likely either just lost the car by himself and it started coming around, or potentially some contact. Driver inside him started the rotation of the car. So tough for Frankie. Well, that gets the chance to have a look at the top 10 over the first couple laps. The Scorpione and Costello getting out to a pretty solid jump. Kuharczyk into the 3rd spot. Brady Golan, impressive in the 44. He immediately went after Thomas Schrag to take that spot away. Christian Cameron 6th. Tyke Durst holding on to the 7th spot. Argyros in 8th. Jack Jeffers started 7th. He fell back a bit, but was able to claw 1 back. He ends up in the 9th spot. Probably started 7th. He goes back 2, so Jeffers goes back to 9th. He was kind of fighting it out there with Jacob Douglas. So Scorpione and Costello, 3rd and 4th coming in points. Back by, I want to say 29 points and 29 and 31 points respectively for both of those drivers. Chance to have a big weekend here on the oval. Could allow them to close up quite a bit here. Jack Jeffers needs to think about that and have a nice clean run. Mossman out of it, as we know, who is tied for the lead in points, so that's going to hurt him. But he'll still be in the top 3, top 5 before it's all said and done anyway. From here, the drivers in USF Pro 2000 and USF 2000 look forward to the event at Road America, third weekend in June. Love to get up to America's National Park of Speed. Gorgeous racetrack, fantastic facility with amazing racing, long straightaways, hard braking, the carousel, you name it. Road America's got everything. We'll have USF 2000 and Pro 2000 there. After that, they'll join USF Juniors, all 3 of the series, on the July 4th weekend at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. After that, pro drivers will look into the month of August, where they go at it with Portland, Markham, the new event north of the border in Ontario, replacing Toronto. And then a couple weeks later, the Milwaukee Mile. All 3 of the series in the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tire, adding in USF Juniors, will cap off the season at Road America at the end of September for the championship finale. All right, let's have a look. We'll have a single file restart here. Pace car remains on track. Drivers able to scrub tires until the pace car lights go out. When they do, single file, we put it in the hands of the leader, which will in this place be Leonardo Scorpioni. The start zone, the red Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park banner right in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Pace car getting up on the throttle. Indeed, that Honda Civic Type R racing down the back chute will tuck down into pit lane. It'll be all in the hands of Leonardo Scorpioni, who's ready to attack right now. Schrag getting that spot back from Golan as it happened on the lap. We had to revert back to the lap before. We don't have the timing lines around the racetrack, so luckily for Schrag, he'll get that spot back. We're back at it. Green flag flying. And Scorpioni will lead him back down into turn number 1. Oh, the fight further back, no doubt about it. Big. Top side of the racetrack. Believe might be Matt Clark, who's worked his way forward. Yeah, Clark coming back up. He's not going to go around the outside of his teammate, Jeffers. Matt Clark, who knows this racetrack well. He's won here in USF 2000, was a podium finisher last year. That thing's a rocket right now as well. Matt Clark now up into the 9th position. Impressive stuff. Matt Clark started 15th, up 6. For the Canadian. Oh man, he's rolling. That team, after a wreck yesterday, had to go back, pull a backup car out, build that car to oval spec. So shout out to Exclusive Autosport. Let's see if Clark can repay them here. Scorpioni still out front, leading the way. Here's Clark in the 90. Jeffers in the 92. They're running 9th and 10th. Clark definitely reeling in on Tyke Durst. Here comes Douglas to make a move to the inside as well. If Jeffers, he has a look to the bottom of the racetrack. Jeffers still holding on to the top side. You wonder whether or not taking care of the tires a little bit here. He'll go back down to the bottom as he's closing up. Clark already by Tyke Durst. So move Clark up to 8th. Jeffers gets a big run. This is up front. That's Golan and Schrag. Argyros right there as well. Look at the black and blue machine there with the blue halo for Argyros. He goes topside. Look at G3. A lot of forward bite out of turn number 2, and he'll go by Schrag down the back straightaway and releases into the middle of the corner. Golan now up on Kuharczyk. Brady Golan in the turn 3 car. He wants to make it turn 3, 1, 2, 3. We saw that for a time with Exclusive. They're going to battle up front. They're scrapping out front for the lead right now. This is good stuff. Costello's gone to the lead, folks. Let's go back up front. Costello to the lead in number 2. Let's pick up the leaders. Yeah, Costello able to go by. Top side on to Scorpioni. Michael Costello. Book it. He goes to P1. Oh, man, this is good stuff right now. Costello wants that first victory. Every one of these young drivers just tasting for that first win. They just want it so bad. Turn 3, 1, 2, 4 right now with Golan going after Kuharchik. But G3 Argyros putting the pressure on Golan right now, so he's not able to focus forward. This is G3 Argyros looking to the bottom. Car looks pretty good mid-corner. Kuharchik holding P3 now. Yeah, Golan's got to think about the driver behind him, not the guy up front that he was challenging so aggressively over the last couple laps. You can see what happens when you lose a bit of air off the wing. You lose so much forward bite. To me, like, Argyros had to check up a little bit. In fact, he's almost fallen back into the clutches now of Thomas Schrag. Matt Clark and Jack Jeffers have worked their way up to 8th and 9th. Clark now trying to find a way by Christian Cameron. He's 1.2 seconds back. Last time by was quicker by about a 10th. Here is the Jeffers-Douglas battle. That is 9th and 10th right now. Jeffers keeping the bottom of the racetrack. You can see coming across the bow like that, all that air taken off of the car of Douglas. Ton of mid-corner understeer gets that push. The car just wants to skate up the racetrack. Very tough to pass here. You have to set a pass up. It's not a single corner. All right, Colin Aiken and Sebastian Manson fighting it out. That's 14th and 15th. Right behind them, Joey Brienza and Tanner DeFabus. That's that 44 of Golan. He has been able to get himself back up to Kuharchik. Trying to make it that turn 3, 1, 2, 3. Costello still leading. Now a full second out. Scorpione looked like he had things locked down, but Michael Costello here. Rolling to the third of this race. That's the gap right there, 3rd and 4th. Jeffers and Douglas still scrapping it out there for 9th and 10th. Right behind them is Teddy Masella, who started dead last. He's up to 11th already. I said to watch out for Masella. An issue in tech put him to the tail of the field. So hard to work the bottom part of the racetrack. When you do that lap after lap after lap, you're going to penalize, you're going to punish these Continental tires. I remember going back a couple of years when Stingray Robb and Christian Rasmussen were going at it hardcore for position. It might have actually been one of the Pabst cars, but Robb was working the bottom so hard. He almost had the pass done, but was on that bottom groove for 25 laps and kind of chewed the tires up. And that allowed Devlin DeFrancesco, who was holding back, further back, to kind of work his way up and really put in a good run. Wasn't able to make it up to the podium, but put a fantastic drive in. Taking care of your tires key here. Running that bottom line doesn't work. At least not, it'll work to get the pass done if you're fast enough. If you're struggling, it's not. But Jeffers and Douglas still battle for 9th and 10th. Jeffers comes in P1 in points, Douglas in 6th. Jacob still trying that bottom part of the racetrack. He gets a better run here, and he's almost clear. He's not going to have the top line yet. Still going to be Jeffers on top, but here comes Masella. Pass done, Douglas finally to P9. Jack Jeffers just doesn't have the car right now that he wants. His teammate Matt Clark up the road already, slowly trying to reel in Christian Cameron. But Clark, who started deeper in the field, into 8th spot. Masella started dead last up into 11th. Of course, a single caution on lap number 3 for Frankie Mossman off the track into the wall, the outside retaining wall in turn 4. Pick up this battle as well. 22 of Manson and a 5 of DeFabus. Tanner going to the bottom of the racetrack, kind of carbon copy to what we saw there, the battle between Douglas and Jeffers. Keeps trying to work the bottom. Tanner, a former winner here in the USF 2000 race. Had a huge victory back in 2024, holding off Nicholas Giaffoni. had that one handled. Famous trying to get that car to rotate mid-corner. Same as Douglas, almost gets it done. Not quite enough to clear, but he's really got himself in there. Trying to get the slide job done. Yeah, DeFamis to the inside, book it. He'll get it done coming out of the corner. You'll see a big run here from Manson from the top side. But that allows DeFamis to go back on top. So Tanner DeFamis gets the job done. Took a couple laps, but he got it done. He goes to P15. Here's the Clark-Douglas battle setting up right now. Jacob Douglas' car is coming together. First got by the exclusive Autosport machine of Jack Jeffers. Now he's going to try to do exactly the same thing to Matt Clark here now in the number 90. Clark top side, Douglas bottom side. Douglas trying to go to 8th. This is not going to help these drivers in closing up on Christian Cameron, who runs in 7th. TJ Speed car is currently 3rd, 6th, and 7th. Kuharchik, Schrag, and Cameron. Not quite to the halfway point, 38 laps down. Remember, this is a 90-lapper. This is a long one. This is a more physical battle than we saw with the drivers in USF 2000. Yeah, their race is only 15 laps more, but you're driving a race car with more of everything. More downforce, more grip, more aero. That more aero, that downforce makes it tougher to turn these cars. Tire width is wider, more grip. Again, no power steering on these race cars. It's all about upper body strength. These kids are going to be absolutely exhausted when it's all said and done. The Kuharchik-Golem battle kind of heats back up, then settles down, heats back up and settles down. Kuharchik with a nice little bit of a cushion now over Golan, but you can see him closing up again here. Different line through turn 3 and 4 for Golan and Kuharchik. Timmick coming off that big victory at the Sanzio Grand Prix on the road course in Indianapolis. Polish driver. Makes it 2 Polish drivers here this year. Karel Paszewicz for Olivia Racing, dominating the action, winning all 3 races at the USF Juniors event at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park up in Canada the last weekend. So throw in Kuharchik here as well for 2 Polish drivers signed up and racing in USF Pro Championships this year. So this is Michael Costello coming by his teammate. So Costello lapping up now to the 16th driver of Manson. So Costello looking for his first win. Do we get 2 first-time winners here? Evan Cooley scoring his first career victory in USF 2000, first USF Pro Championships win. Big one for him. Heartbreak for Anthony Martella. But will Michael Costello break the goose egg and score his first win here? 45 big points as well. Down to the bottom as he gets by Tanner DeFamis. Oh, that's what you're worried about there. Little tank slapper mid-corner correction. You're down the bottom of the track. You've lost a little bit of the air on the wing. These cars get away from you pretty quick. The G-load that they're carrying into these corners. Long way up to the next driver, Colin Aiken for Costello. We'll go back to the battle here. G3 Argyros and Thomas Schrag. Schrag on the bottom, Argyros on the top. That is for 5th and 6th. Schrag, nicely done. Does he get it done coming up? Can he slide job into the top? Take away the air? Nope, keeps it to the bottom. A lot of the times you'll see a driver go to the bottom once they're clear and the spotter lets them know to let the car drift up the racetrack a little bit. Takes the air off the front wing of the guy behind him, and he's not going to get that run out of that corner to potentially chase you down into the next set of left-handers. Big sweepers here, obviously, as we know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check in with the crew on the chat. Hopefully they're enjoying things here on the USF Pro Championships YouTube channel. You know, I talk a lot throughout the show here about tire management. And the fact that when you're running that bottom side, you think you're putting the pressure on the driver, you're going to try to force him maybe into a mistake. You're really penalizing him, you're really punishing those tires in the bottom. Look at that wiggle. See, that's what I'm talking about. Again, we're past the halfway point now, 50 laps in when they get back around, but you can see that little wiggle in the middle of the corner. You've got to have quiet hands, but fast hands. Because as that car goes away, talk about driving by the seat of your pants. The technology that goes into the seats that they pour, these custom seats these drivers pour and get fitted into so that they feel at one with the car. When they're belting you in, you want it to hurt almost. You want to get belted in so tight because you want to be able to feel the bottom of that car when it starts to get away from you, and that's when you have to correct. Visually, it's going to be too late. You have to feel it. There's Jeffers again and Teddy Masella. That's the battle right now for 10th and 11th. Jeffers P1 in the championship battle. Masella down in 12th. That DQ in tech put him to the tail of the field. 52 laps down. Big run on the bottom for Masella as Jeffers keeps running the top side. Just not the race car that he had at both Arlington and Indianapolis, where he was right up front. Exclusive has been traditionally very good here in the USF Pro category. Won a lot of races. 5 different race wins here in USF Pro. Car not quite where it needs to be here today, as they've got a driver now losing this spot. Jeffers is going to go down into the 11th spot unless he gets back by. He'll go to the bottom. Little cover to the bottom. Masella tried to come across the line a bit. Jeffers had to get out of it there. So Jeffers 11th, Clark 9th, Brienza 18th. $35 more laps to go for Michael Costello. His lead now 2.2 seconds. He's lapping his way through the field now. We got this fight between Manson and DeFavis continuing there. DeFavis scrapping it out again. I love it. These guys have been going at it, and we'll be exhausted when it's all said and done. Manson 15th, DeFavis 60th. Oh, drivers to the wall. That is Charles Finelli. Finelli has made contact with the wall. Yellow flag out. And our 62-year-old driver finds himself with damage to the left rear. Contact with the retaining wall on the outside at turn number 4. AMR IndyCar safety team en route. Charles is going to try to bring it down off the track there. I don't see any fluid coming from the car. That's good. That'll allow the car to stay to the top side. Tough one for Charles. $54 laps in for him. Lapped a couple of times, but not going to have a fairy tale ending for this one for the driver who qualified 7th last year and back at it again here, the 62-year-old. The IndyCar crew having a look around the track to make sure there's no components, no parts, no shrapnel from carbon fiber onto the track. They'll get this thing on the strap, get it hooked up with the tow truck very quickly. Charles isn't driving that thing back to pit lane. So let's unpack what we've seen so far. Leonardo Scorpioni was the driver out of the gate. Led early. But in the end, Michael Costello came on fire and was able to take the lead away. He has the fast lap of the race as well, a 19.891. 19.752, the fastest race lap. So listen, as these cars get lighter and lighter, these Continentals hold on. We may be able to find ourselves with a new race record lap time. But Costello was able to take the lead. He has worked his way through 4 or 5 of the drivers. He lapped his way up to 15th. Was closing on Colin Aiken, but the yellow giving Aiken another opportunity at it here. So Costello and a Scorpioni 1-2. They're going to be able to rekindle their fight here. Kucharczyk is in the 3rd spot but on track, I want to say there's, I think, 4 lap cars between he and Scorpione. Brady Golan runs in the 4th position. Thomas Schrag in 5th. G3 Argero 6th. Christian Cameron 7th. Jacob Douglas 8th. Matt Clark 9th. Teddy Masella in 10th spot. Jack Jeffers in 11th. Tyke Durst 12th. Andres Cardenas 13th. Colin Aiken 14th. Sebastian Manson 15th. Tanner DeFabis 16th. JT Hoskins 17th. Joey Brienza 18th. Finelli now out, officially classified 19th. And Frankie Mossman, as we know, done early on lap number 3 in 20th. So 18 drivers remain in the field. 14 drivers on the lead lap. Costello, Scorpione, and Kuharsik, the top 3. So, Costello was able to go by a Scorpione, led some laps, turned the fast lap of the race thus far. What's he going to look like on a restart? Again, the punched-off zone, middle of turn number 3 and 4, the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park red and white banner on the wall on the outside driver's right. Pace car's in. We're going racing. Right back at it. Lap 62 will go in the books. 28 laps remaining when they come back around. Everybody gets a chance here when they re-rack. Lap cars are in the way at this point. Costello has not gone yet. He's supposed to have gone mid-corner. Green flag flying. A slow start there. I thought that the restart zone was between 3 and 4, but he kept it slow all the way out on the front straightaway. That's going to stack a lot of drivers up further back. Man, top 3 looking good. Big move to the bottom here, a little further back. That is, I believe, Kuharchik trying to get through one of the lap cars. Look at the gaggle here as they come up the straightaway. Everybody's scrapping for position. Restarts are a fantastic opportunity to get passes done, maybe get a couple of spots back, that's for sure. Believe that what we saw there was Kuharchik and Tanner DeFabis. There's the 7 of Hoskins as well. Yeah, he's got guys coming around. He's lapped. He's got drivers trying to get around him. That's Matt Clark that's trying to go to the top side. Jacob Douglas has already gone through, so Douglas up to 7th. Clark goes into 8th now. Behind them, Christian Cameron. Clark on the top side. Hoskins on the bottom. Hoskins is a lap back. So eventually you got to give it up. Oh, he almost gets wide, almost into Cameron. Cameron, some contact potentially there. Comes a run for Masella as well. Big start on that restart for Jack Jeffers. Amidst the chaos, he goes up into 6th. So a huge recovery for Clark there, but Jeffers, but does he have the race car to hold that spot? There he is just ahead of Douglas now. Clark going to the bottom of Douglas. Lots going on. Masella, who started last, 10th right now, trying to go to 9th. Here's the Clark and Douglas battle. Clark on the bottom, Douglas on the top. This time Clark on the bottom. Trying to see he can't get it done here. Lower line around, it's shorter, but you gotta pinch the bottom a little bit. Clark trying to get it done right now for 7th. Almost, oh, contact there, the car just got a little wide. Oh, they are absolutely on the edge when you come through there. Douglas on the top side again. The 27 of Cameron now going after Douglas. Costello out nicely into the lead once again. Scorpione continues to chase. Douglas has to press that reset button after the near contact with Clark coming out at 4. He's got that race car. Look at the run there he gets. Cameron trying to close up on Clark. In front of them, I think that's the lap car of Cardenas. That might be Hoskins, actually. I'll try to pick that up better. Hard to get the number on that Jay Howard machine. There's a move there from Masella. He's been able to get by Douglas as well, so move Masella up to 9th. The march forward for Teddy Masella from dead last has been spirited today. Well done. Clark down to the bottom of the racetrack trying to get by one of the lap Jay Howard cars. I think it's going to be DeFabus in the 5. Sun starting to work its way to the horizon here. Yeah, indeed, that's DeFabus in the 5. Masella's going to go down to the bottom. So that's Clark right there. Clark, Cameron, and Masella. Argyros right there with DeFabus as well, trying to get by. Man, we got some good battles out here. That's Manson again. He's going to get passed by one of the TJ Speed cars that's working its way forward. Remember, TJ Speed runs now 3rd, 4th, and 8th. So top 10 for all the cars of last year's winners. Good job for TJ Speed here this weekend. Getting down to the last 15 laps here momentarily. 74 laps in, 16 to go for Michael Costello, who leads by about a half a second. Leonardo Scorpioni running a little bit lower line coming through that corner to try to get the air over the wing. Higher line for Costello. Maybe a half a car width low for Scorpioni. Make sure he's got that air climbing up over top of the left side of the front wing. But they have flat checked out from the two TJ Speed cars of Kuharczyk and Schrag. Exclusive Autosport went 1-2 in USF 2000. Turn 3 trying to do the same thing here. There's 3rd and 4th. Timik Kuharczyk and Thomas Schrag. Both these drivers having awesome runs. Good opportunity for Kuharczyk, as we said, to get a feel for the oval before doing it with the Indy Next crew here in the second half of the season. Number of ovals for Timik, and he'll get this first one in the books, get a feel for it. 12 laps to go. Will we get 2 new winners? As I've said before, Evan Cooley in USF 2000 breaking the goose egg with a big victory. Can Michael Costello do it as well? A lot of open racetrack for Costello. They are closing up on 1 lap car. That's Joey Brienza in the 91. But there's only 10 laps remaining in the Freedom 90. After that, a big, big run until you're going to roll up onto Colin Aiken, who currently runs in the 14th spot. Aiken, last driver on the lead lap, so he is doing a great job for Colin for sure for VRD Racing. Manson quickly gets by Brienza. Brienza keeps the car to the top side, allowing him to go to the bottom, or go to the bottom side. Great job for Brienza. Scorpioni's trying to come here as well. 8 laps to go. There's the 27 of Christian Cameron. Yeah, there's a fight still going on there. Cameron coming to work on Matt Clark for 7th. Cameron 8th. Jeffers got that fantastic restart to go from 11th to 6th. A huge restart for Jeffers in terms of championship points, with his 2 drivers chasing him in 3rd and 4th. Currently finished 2nd and 1st. Huge recovery for potentially a Scorpioni to get some points, but that breakthrough here coming for Costello. 3 top 10s and 18th in race number 1 in Indianapolis, but a victory here for Costello would be massive. He's been pushing hard. Lots of racetrack down the back chute. Picking up on Costello here as the laps are winding down. And at less than 20 seconds a pop, it ain't going to take long. 5 laps to go. Less than 2 minutes of racing. The TJ Speed cars aren't done yet. Schrag's trying to find a way by Kuharczyk. Timmy Kachow, as they call him on Fox Sports. We'll keep it as Kuharczyk here. Oh, let's see if Schrag's got anything for Timmy. Oh, we're going to go at it here. The TJ speed card side by side coming over. Oh, to the bottom of the racetrack. Schrag trying to get him. Excitement here on the final lap. They're closing up on Brienza. Oh, Schrag can't quite use him as a pick. Schrag's got to get way out of it at the bottom. That may be it for him. 3 to go. I think Schrag was lining him up. Not quite enough at the end, though. He had to bail out of it. Later starting to close up on Colin Aiken, but I don't think it's going to happen here. Scorpione's closing big time. Trouble for Costello. He does not get another 5. Forward well. Costello to the top side. Scorpione. It's a turn 3 battle for the race win with 2 to go. Costello on the top side. He did not get through 4 well. Scorpione to the bottom. It's still Costello. White flag going to fly this time by. Costello with a full wheel in it. Final lap. Back to the bottom comes Scorpione. Costello covers. Scorpione checks. Down the back chute. Costello almost walled it on lap number 8. Checker flag waiting with Aaron Likens. They'll go side by side, potentially no. Still clean and green. And although he's in the wall, potentially on lap number 88, Michael Costello gets the race win. A turn 3 Motorsports 1-2 that almost went up in smoke with 2 to go. Costello got high on the racetrack through 3, almost put it in the wall in 4. A Scorpione to the bottom, almost outran him into turn number 1, but staying true to the top side, Costello holds on to the spot to come away with his first USF Pro Championships race win. That was unbelievable. Costello with the win, a Scorpione second, Harchick in third, Schrag fourth. Those 2 drivers were going to battle it out over the last couple laps. Brady Golan in 5th spot. Jack Jeffers, that restart, massive for him. He goes to 6th. Matt Clark holds off Christian Cameron for 7th. Teddy Masella from last to 9th. And G3 Argyros rounding out your top 10. All right, folks. Victory Lane celebrations coming. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to head down there right now to talk to the top 3. Celebration obviously continuing down here right now. We're going to get a hold of Michael Costello when we can. Pops in there. Michael, let's get in front of the camera here right now. An amazing drive. Leonardo got you the start, got the lead, not surprising. You were able to go by. The restart was strong. Let's talk about lap 88. You got high in 3 and 4, almost in the wall, pedaling it, but was able to hold it in 1. Just talk about that last laps.
Yeah, you know, the last laps is always kind of like a last lap sprint, especially physicality, tires, wear, and everything. I think I pushed a little bit too hard, you know, lap 70-ish right after the restart. Definitely paid the consequence for it, but, you know, we held on, did as well as we could, and ultimately we came out on top. Yeah, I'm just a loss for words right now. It's been too long since I've been on the podium, and even on the top step, my last win was USF 2000 Portland 24. So we've had a lot of up and down luck, but I'm just glad we could take it away, take the win here, and one of my favorite tracks on the calendar.
Time to party with turn 3?
Oh yeah, always.
You know it. Let's get Leonardo Scorpioni. Leo, let's come on in here and join me here. I'll tell you. Leo, congratulations. A fantastic run for you as well. Points is huge, as you know. Just give me your thoughts on that race. First off, the race itself, and then what could have happened in the last couple laps.
It was a good race. I'm super happy to be on the podium. Of course, wanted to be P1, but I'm glad it was my teammate at least who beat me. So, it was a really tough race for me. Managing through the traffic. I was learning when I went on. I didn't do a lot of practice going through the traffic. I probably should have, but it was a good race. It was very tiring, so it was a really good race. I'm super happy.
Let's talk about what happened to Michael. Got high in turn number 3 and 4, almost put it in the wall. You got to the bottom. What were your thoughts going down to 1? Just sending it with a slide job, or remember it's your teammate, right?
Yeah, the season's long. I'm not gonna end both our races. I was already happy being on the podium. I'm not gonna do anything to affect any of us. Peter worked super hard to get my car back together, so I was made sure I just finished the race, and it was a really good race. I'm super happy.
Congratulations, well done. Let's bring this driver in here right now. Guest driver on the weekend, Timothy Kuharczyk. Congratulations. Last week or 2 weeks ago, you're a winner at Indianapolis in Indy Next. Give me your thoughts on your first time racing on an oval here in the U.S.
It was an interesting one. It was a tough race. I didn't expect to be this tough, to be fair. First couple laps were, and I struggled quite a bit. I think you could see my pace wasn't very strong. But I guess good defensive learning curve for me as well. Really cool, no experience around this place in this car, but just jumped in and tried to learn as much as possible. So happy to come away with a trophy.
Congratulations, best of luck in the rest of the year in Indy Next.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Timothy Kuharczyk, folks, coming home P3. What a fantastic race it was. He had to battle it out with his teammate Thomas Schrago over those last couple of laps. They were side by side at the very end, just like we saw with the turn 3 cars. The bottom line, just some fantastic racing in the Freedom 90 to wrap things up. We'll get all of our drivers over here to the podium to get that celebration underway. Fantastic weekend for the drivers here and the team. Turn 3, TJ Speed. They were up front throughout the entire day as well. And again, we're ready to wrap things up with our podium presentation for the drivers here in USF Pro 2000. Again, just a couple of steps away from the NTT IndyCar Series, and maybe even closer for Timothy Kuharczyk, who obviously runs for HMD Motorsports, an Indy Next winner, now a podium finisher here in USF Pro 2000. Get a chance to get our cars out here and we can get things underway from the podium presentation. All right, folks, let's get him up here. Finishing third today, Timothy Kuharczyk from TJ Speed Motorsports, his debut on an oval. A tough one, like he said. Timothy coming home in the third position. Finishing in second place today, part of the Turn 3 Motorsports crew, Leonardo Scorpioni. So, folks, he's been a winner before in USF 2000, but now he gets one here in USF Pro. He's been fighting hard for it. He's a winner here in the Freedom 90. A round of applause for Michael Costello. Hard pushing throughout the entire race. Costello talked about the fact may have cooked it a little bit too much late in the race. Got high coming through turn number 3 and 4. Almost stuck it in the wall on lap number 88. That gave Scorpioni a chance to go to the inside. Had it been anybody else, it might have been a different story. Scorpioni thinking championship, thinking about his teammate, and not wanting to throw it away there. And Timothy Kuharczyk, great to have him here. A future star of IndyCar for sure. Already a race winner for HMD Motorsports in the Indy Next Series. And again, get here to get some experience for the oval races that he will run in Indy Next for the remainder of 2027. Great to be here on a Thursday. It was supposed to be the Carb Night Classic. It ended up being Thursday Night Thunder, if you will, for the drivers here in USF Pro Championship action, both USF 2000 and USF 2000. We did end up with first-time winners in their series. Of course, first-time USF 2000 win for Evan Cooley. First-time USF Pro 2000 victory for Michael Costello. We'll get the selfie of the podium here first, the champagne waiting in the wings, and it'll be a perfect opportunity to cap things off. Guys, grab that champagne for us, will you please? Everybody grab your bottle. Guys, grip it and rip it. Celebrate a fantastic run here at Indianapolis Raceway Park in the Freedom 90. For those of you who joined us here trackside, thank you so much for coming out to a Thursday night show. Normally we're part of the USAC action at the Carb Night Classic, but the weather played nicely for us here on a Thursday after a very cold Tuesday and Wednesday. Again, the Indianapolis 500 looming on Sunday, hoping that all goes well and we get that race in. And as we always do, everybody in the USF Pro Championships will be following along with the young drivers who came up through our program all the way through the ladder to the NTT IndyCar Series. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We do appreciate it here trackside. Those of you on the YouTube channel and the app, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it. This year's Freedom 75 and Freedom 90 are done. New winners in their categories are Michael Costello and Evan Cooley. We are done, and we are looking forward to Road America in mid-June. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. On behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.